Hello. Hello there. Hello there, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to another day here. Another stream, another better, another time. Well, there's a lot to talk about, especially something that has just been reported. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say just. It's been around for a little bit now. And uh, supposedly, there is a video here from 2 hours ago from Voice Defender. The Russian Ministry of Defense has claimed that the raid by Ukrainian special forces last night on a beach resort in northwestern Crimea resulted in the death of 15 to 20 Ukrainian soldiers after a security guard in his underwear was able to pin down the soldiers near the beach. What? Was the soldiers near the beach until the Russian Rapid Response Force arrived. So, I mean, this seems a bit rogue. I'm not sure if it is. No, they're claiming it. They're claiming that it's a Russian, that it's a Ukrainian special forces. I just want to say, I mean, it does look like he just came from the beach, right? I mean, he does look kind of ripped up, right? But I just want to say that
Назад перемотайте немножко.
he's carrying what he's carrying right there.
У него сейчас фонарика надо выбросить.
Looks like an AK-15. Oh, that's an AK-47 standard.
Он сейчас вот упадет, вот раз.
Modified, maybe. There they come. They come going through. Alright, you do look like they're carrying special equipment. Well, okay. So, in northwestern resulted in the death of 15 to 20 Ukrainian soldiers after a security guard in his underwear was able to pin down the soldiers near the beach until a Russian rapid force arrived. Right. Almost the exact opposite of the claims made earlier today by the Ukrainian main director of the intelligence about the same. The Ukrainian main director of intelligence claimed that their special forces raid last night in northwestern resulted in the death of at least 13 Russian soldiers, with their forces suffered no casualties during the operation. I mean, yeah. So they're claiming both sides. That's funny, right there. So they're claiming both sides. They're saying that they're saying Ukrainians saying that the raid was successful and there was no special operative killed, and they were killed by Russian quick response force, and that's against Ukrainian special forces. So yeah, British television believes that the recovery. D and Dove, thank you, welcome. Caused the crash yesterday after a business jet carrying Wagner C was saying the U.S. officials with air defense missiles. So this is also what's happening yesterday. If you want to watch what about happened with Prigozhin, you want to go tomorrow. To yesterday's stream where I was talking about that pretty much all night. There's some air raids going on in Ukraine here. I think Kharkiv just turned on. You can hear it in the background. Some air raids going on there in the background.
Он сейчас вот упадет, вот раз.
That are saying that there's a security guard in his underwear. This guy right here. Supposedly, his special forces, after the security guy in his underwear was able to pin them down. So you're telling me that a security guard with one AK-47 was able to pin down 15 to 20 Ukrainian special forces soldiers. Right. You're telling me that one Russian security guard was able to pin down up to about 20 or 30 Russian, up to maybe like 20 or something, Ukrainian special forces. I doubt it. I doubt it. By the way, there's two sides of this as well. I just want to say that they're both claiming, that Russians are claiming that they killed a lot of Ukrainian soldiers, and the Ukrainians, surprise, is claiming that they killed the 30 Russian soldiers. The forces suffered no casualties during the operation. Now, bet me wrong, but I have a tendency to believe in the Ukrainians. It's not like the Russians are famous for lying. Oh wait, no, they are. So, So I've actually I've had an argument pretty much all day with a bunch of people on Twitter. Well, two people. So they're claiming this whole Japan situation that's going on at the moment. And what's happening here is that they're planning to plan release of so-called radioactive water into the ocean was made supposed to be today by Japan. Now, a lot of people out here claiming that this is a disaster. It's gonna spread to the U.S. It's gonna become, you know, that everything is gonna be bad all of a sudden. There's been multiple amount of people outside of the Prime Minister's house protesting in Japan. We have some of the videos here. That this is from today. Hundreds of Japanese citizens are protesting Fukushima released on August 21st in front of Prime Minister Kishida residents for three days straight. So they've been out there for 3 days. Solidarity with these them against the money-hungry teams. Well, and the thing is, guys, after having listened to the IAEA, after having been told by a lot of experts that there's no danger occurring here, guys, and there really isn't. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to tell you or make you the story that there's a radioactive leaf that's gonna, you know, kill you, and that's gonna kill the core of life, and that's gonna kill everything in the ocean, right? And they're saying it's radioactive and you shouldn't release radioactive into the ocean. But by the way, the levels of radioactive waste inside of these waters are not you shouldn't drink it, but they've actually stated that the levels of radiation inside this water, because it has been cleaned and it's been cleaned for a very long time, is so minimal that it's under the amount that's safe to consume, they said, or, you know, dump. Some scientists are even claiming, or some nuclear experts are even claiming, that it may even benefit to corals. It may even benefit. But there's a lot of people out here that are trying to point out to you that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna kill a lot of people. It's gonna kill a lot of fish. And I've been arguing with some people saying that this is not the case. There's not gonna be a how could you say? There's not gonna be, you know, any danger to anything or anybody. In fact, you could literally, after they've dumped this, go out into the ocean, go swim for 24 hours straight, and nothing would happen to you. That's how low the levels of radiation inside this water is. Now, it is not, you know, unradiated. There is still some radiation, and because it's so hard to get some of these stuff that are inside of radiation, some of these isotopes and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure, but there's some stuff inside radiation that's pretty much impossible to remove. That means that that there's still radiation, and that's true, but it doesn't cause any effect to you. Listen, there's always radiation, there's always background radiation, and in fact, this radiation level that's here right now in that water is lower than the normal amount of radiation that you will have in a doing day. The background radiation, it's lower than what you would usually have. You see, this is a radiation map right here. Up here, it's 114, and you think, and this is radiation map, right? And you think to yourself that means that all this area right here is completely contaminated or radioactive, but no, it is safe conditions. In fact, only when it gets above about 300, then you have to worry. And this water level is not above 300. It is below 100. They've even talked about it being below the levels of normal radiation background, which means that this water is not contaminated in any sort of way. And you can talk to IAEA has been having multiple amount of talks throughout the years. The UN and everybody has had talks with Japanese scientists, and this is not China, okay? This is not, some third world country. This is Japan, a country with $60 trillion in the fucking bank, right? How are you doing, Desire? And this is a country, Japan, their nuclear scientists and their scientists in general are some of the most disciplined and educated people in the world. They produce microchips, some of the best microchips in the world. And you can't simply sit there and say that without any knowledge of what radiation is, and go around in the world to just say, this is, completely dangerous. No, Japan is ruining the world. It's going to react. It's going to hit the east coast of America. It's going to, you don't think Joe Biden, with the amount of scientists in the U.S. and everybody, would have made some concerns. But no, there's no people that have a scientific degree or anything like that has made any concerns about what's happening here. None of them. And I've literally skirted around. I've not found one. The only people I'm finding right now that are listing and saying this is dangerous are people who are either just, activists, or people who simply don't understand it, who hear radiation. And I get that. I get that the factor is you hear radiation and you get a little scared. There's nothing wrong with getting scared when you hear radiation, but you also sometimes have to look into it. Have to listen to the experts. Now, I know that IAEA has a reputation that's about, lying or stuff like that. But in reality, they've never actually lied to you. They're not lying. They may put off things and don't tell you things immediately, but they're never telling you lies, into your face. They may tell you some things that aren't exactly a lie, but it's somewhat, in between, right? And that means that there is simply no concern at the moment right now from anybody. And this is, Japanese science and people they've processed this water for a very, very long time. And it's ever since Fukushima when it happened, right? This water had to be dumped out to the ocean. And there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, they're saying this level of radiation that's actually going to be dumped into the ocean is going to be gone within maybe a year. And it won't cause any difference, or maybe less than a year. It won't cause a difference, and there will be no damage to anybody. Meanwhile, you have China, right? China has dumped tons of thousands and thousands of liters and tons of every combustible fossil fuel into the ocean. Literally, they have killed many species. They have killed many and made the waters around not only China, but in the Pacific, it's quite, contaminated. Well, I wouldn't say contaminated. They've made it worse. The waters aren't clean as they used to be. Japan have not done that. What they're dumping is cleaned, processed water that's been looked over by UN, that's been looked over by IAEA, that's been looked over Scientists, and everybody has concluded the same thing. This is safe. So don't, I just want to point out here, guys, that I've been through an argument pretty much all day with somebody who's claiming that this is going to kill us all. Can't convince idiots otherwise. But I want to show you something else again. This was 1 hour ago. This is Burj Khalifa today, guys. So I think, it may have been yesterday, considering the fact that yesterday was Independence Day. So I think this could have been yesterday, but it does say today, and it was 1 hour ago. So and probably is right. Well, it could be today. It's pretty beautiful here, guys. This is Burj Khalifa over here. Now there's another video up here of this guy right here, right? This is a Wagner soldier. He's a mercenary. Realized that they would be paid no more, payments for him. Yeah, he realized he was fucked, and then he started crying. His real indications here is that he's crying because Prigozhin is dead, because he saw him as a sort of god. He's a god. So he's actually crying here about the death of Prigozhin. It also says to you just the amount of love they have for him. So, all right. Well, I got 2 notifications. I bet it's one of those guys trying to argue with me. Here it is. Here it is, right? Here you have it. China plant releasing water contacting tritium and levels 6.5 higher than the planned Fukushima discharge. You know, this is about 90 trillion peak, whatever, 140 trillion. I can't put that pecurals or becquerels. It's on the trillions here. Pre 2011, 2.2 trillion, right? And this is treated water estimate less than 22 trillion, right? It's less than 22 trillion, which, by the way, again, it sounds a lot, but it's the understanding of it is different. I mean, this is, number one nuclear power plant, Fukushima number one nuclear power plant. This is the one thing that Japan, which is, by the way, treated. These ones right here are not treated. These are just dumped into the fucking ocean. This is just being dumped into the ocean by China. But you don't hear activists or people talking about that, right? Do you? If you don't hear people talking about the fact that China doesn't process their water or trying to clean it, they just throw it into the fucking ocean. Nobody cares about it. But everybody wants to point out that Japan is wrong. Oh, but they're, China, they're saying, but it's like Japan is polluting the world. They're killing the world. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't know. They don't look into China. They don't talk about China. They don't give a shit. They don't know anything. They just talk about stuff that matters to them because then they can jump on the trend and gain some likes and follows. That's all they really care about, guys. Russian air defenses are reportedly active and flares can be seen in sky above the city of Sevastopol in southern Crimea. There's been multiple reports of not only the Crimean bridge being closed from any travel at all, flares and air defenses has been working round the clock lately. We personally think that the Ukrainians aren't done yet. The crash site of the planned plane that, this is new images here that we have seen. Prigozhin is visible now in new satellite images for Russia here. So this is the plane crash here. We see the whole convoy here, people checking that out in the area and where it is, and yeah. So he's also, by the way, Putin has given his condolences to the families, right? So this is the president of Vladimir Putin has made his first statement since the death of yesterday Wagner leader in a plane crash. He sent his condolences to Prigozhin family. I read about that, right? So it's, I like to retweet all these because he does have a lot of great news here. I like this guy. Go follow this guy if you want real news. Go follow this guy. Yeah, and unfollow me and unfollow that guy because, according to one Twitter activist, I am a dumb idiot that doesn't know shit about anything and should literally jump off a bridge. That's what she wrote, right? And also, she told me, right? And I know it's a she, right? Told me. Here's the funny thing. I made the world's best comeback here earlier. She said to me, so who told you this? The fishes? And I said, no, the IAEA did. I assume you've never heard about those because you think fishes can talk. It wasn't like that. At the moment, it was way better, but, you get it. It was a great comeback. It was a great comeback. Don't get me wrong. You get it. All right. We have the daily news from Ukraine here. We may want to pop that up. Wait, what's that? No, that's from yesterday. Yeah, no, that's from yesterday, so we won't give you that. That's from yesterday, 24th today, so we won't give you that. Britain has allocated £11.5 million to help Ukrainian refugees who are living in England, Wales, Southern and Northern Ireland. Reported by the Department of Raising Levels, Housing and Communities in Britain. It is known that the assistance will be in form of learning English and career progressing, but it will be available up to 10,000 Ukrainians. Fair enough. Good on them. Good on them. It should probably also give it to their own citizens, but we'll gloss past that. The United States plans to start training Ukrainian pilots on F-16s as early as September. Wow. Okay. The New York Times has learned the pilot will first undergo English language training in Texas and begin months of flight training in Arizona. You couldn't just get a. Oh well, I guess that's true. I mean, you couldn't just get somebody who speaks Ukrainian, but there's not a Ukrainian person who could. You would have to translate everything that the conductor says, and I think it would probably be better to. Yeah, you're right. European Union still finds it difficult to confirm the information that Prigozhin died in a plane crash. Is reported by CNN with a reference to the statement of the EU speaker on the foreign security puzzle. Again, like many other things, Russia it is very difficult to confirm, and that's why we cannot comment on it. Well, I mean that's true, Although if you do search up Prigozhin, I will tell you this, guys. If you search up Prigozhin right now, it says he's dead. The only problem is they haven't confirmed the place yet. They've actually removed the place where he was dead and all that. I mean, there's also a difference. There's also a funny thing is that there's a jet that took off that's also owned by Prigozhin that landed in Bucha, I think it was. So, I mean, there's anything here. It is hard to confirm when Russia says anything. I'll agree on that. I really will agree on that because it is hard to conduct anything or even agree on most things that Russia even puts out, but we are pretty certain that he's dead, but yeah. The US president has announced new sanctions against Russia over the abduction of Ukrainian children. The US embassy in Ukraine quoted Joe Biden as saying in a statement, according to the US Finance Ministry, 11 individuals and the Attack Against Children's Center fell under the sanction. Yep. So in Kyiv, the motherland, and central rail station and buildings in the Kyiv census. So this is Kyiv from the Independence Day. So actually, it might be today, right? Wait, when is? Oh, it's today. All right, I thought it was yesterday. No, it's today. All right, they've been preparing for it. All right. So it's Happy Ukrainians Independence Day, as I want to say to you guys. Slava Ukraine. Ukraine keeps fighting on, and we are happy to support. This is from Ukraine today. Burj Khalifa, by the way, is also lighting up here. Has been lit up. I showed that earlier in the stream. If you want to go watch that, it's pretty cool. You can probably just search it up. This is rail stations. Anything really going on here in Ukraine? This is the new updated statue with the Ukrainian symbols instead of the communist symbol that's been updated here in Ukraine, with now Ukrainian lighting on. Very beautiful, very cool, and it's beyond cool right now. We are doing great. We are doing great. There's areas in Kyiv. As far as the Wagner goes, there's flooding in the U.S. By the way, I want to point that out. That Ohio highway swamp, dramatic car rescue underway. Detroit airport tunnel submerged, and Las Vegas strip. So Ohio and Las Vegas is quite far in between, but yeah, there's everywhere right now. Las Vegas strip transformed into a water highway. Look at this one right here, guys. There's severe flooding here in the U.S. after I think these hurricanes that have been raving across the California and probably inside of the U.S. I think it was in Hawaii. Sorry, not Hawaii. Ohio. Oh, that guy. He's like, I don't know where the fuck it is. I'm just gonna walk across the globe. Look at that right there. That's pretty insane. Turning to water highways right there. You want to get your boots on. This is in Las Vegas, so there ain't nobody that's brought raincoats. Didn't expect it. The Independence Day of Ukraine, Paris certified its support for Kyiv and Kyiv statement today in the French capital. A simplified demonstration that Kyiv is part of the European family. The mayor of Kyiv and mayor of Paris, Anna Hadula, at her invitation will jointly open Kyiv Square in the city center. In the evening, the ceremony of the lightning the elephant heart in the colors of the national flag of Ukraine will take place. Further cooperation with Kyiv and practical assistance in preparing for the next winter will be discussed with the mayor of Paris. That's awesome. So everything is going on right now. It's going great. All right, guys. So when it comes to Wagner, let's get the Wagner news up here, guys. There has been a lot going on here. As far as we know right now, there are dismantling of camps in Ukraine. Sorry, Belarus. Some of the there has been an official report. Somebody was saying that they have been told to gather at a lake district inside of Belarus within the next 48 to 78 hours. So here we have it. There's images of dismantling of the camps that has begun. It's quite hard to see, but you can kind of maybe see how some of these tents that was here before quite gone, you know. So they're leaving right now. Let me see if I can find it. There was also Blinken. I'm gonna turn him on just in a second. Well, not turn on, right? We're gonna get it through. By the way, I want to point out, guys, that there's been multiple. This is weighing on my mind that there's been multiple reports of Russia blaming Ukraine for the attacks. Zelensky has apparently been quoted in a statement by a journalist that he did not have anything to do with it. Of course, he didn't. You know, Putin. We know that Putin was responsible. We very know that he was responsible. Finland is also having been in Ukraine here recently. We're going through it all right now, guys. I did not reload that, but I'll get it through here. We'll search up here in Wagner and we'll see what we find. The implications right now is that they have been told to gather and get ready, is what, as far as we know right now. Other than that, you know, you can't really know exactly as to what's going on because it's, you know, Wagner, it's Russia. Hard to know. Use intelligence assessment shows international cost explosion. Intentionally cost explosion crashed Wagner chief's plane. Oh, was it intentional? Oh, how could have you fought? How could you have fought? You know. But the death of Wagner leader. Not that I've heard of, Sire. I've not heard of him, but I will search it up. But there's not been any officially confirmed. The only one who's actually made a confirm about anything was Putin, the man. He's the only one that's made any confirmation or any talks officially about what happened here in Ukraine. He was the only... Sorry, that's completely wrong. He's the only one who's made a statement public about what's happened, and he stated that he was sorry. You know, I don't know. I mean, is Putin trying to spin this as a Ukrainian attack? You know, that's one hell of a way to do something. I mean, he's a cold bastard, but you know, you gotta imagine that maybe he's gonna spin this shit. I'll look it up. Maybe there is some statements from them. We'll have to see. Air raids in Zaporizhia here. May hear some air raids going on or up soon. Some vans moving in Kramatorsk. That's near the front line. I did see one statement about perhaps there could be you know, when Ukraine was addressing the world countries about the plans, that is not what we meant. Planes. Oh, planes. Prigozhin's plane. Oh, he's made a statement here. I mean, I trust everything that Putin says, right? That hurt even saying, you know.
Евгений Викторович, ну, вот так вот просто тупо, блядь, только приехал в Африку. И тут же, блядь, вот, ну, наверное, сигареты забыл, короче, где-то там в Питере, либо в Москве, и полетел обратно за сигаретами. Ну, что за это? Блядь, все, весь ТикТок, все пиздец, все похороны, блядь, все, одни сочувствуют, другие радуются. Ну, что там на туре? Зузду съехали, чешо, блядь.
Some people think the leader of PMC Wagner is alive, and the accident was the plane was staged. For instance, this Ukrainian man is sure Prigozhin is a good actor who's fooling everybody. That is the case. I mean, I'll listen. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, because also this guy right here as well. He's Ukrainian, but I don't know. Maybe he's Wagner or whatever. But let's look at this right here. Because he does say about...
Евгений Пригожин. Евгений Викторович. Вы правда думаете, что Евгений Викторович, ну, вот так вот просто тупо, блядь, только приехал в Африку. И тут же, блядь, вот, ну, наверное, сигареты забыл, короче, где-то.
Forgot his cigarettes. Apparently he flew back to St. Petersburg for a
Там в
cigarette.
Питере, либо в Москве, и полетел обратно за сигаретами. Ну, что за это? Блядь, все... Весь ТикТок, все пиздец, все похороны, блядь, все, одни сочувствуют, другие радуются. Что там на туре? Зузду съехали, чешо, блядь.
I mean, the only thing is, he could have been summoned by Putin. That's all we know. You know, he could have been told by Putin, come to me. I need to talk to you. And then, all right. You know? But it's also to point out that if he went back to St. Petersburg because he forgot his cigarettes, that's very suspicious. I'll give you that. I mean, the only thing is, and I'll agree with the fact that the EU commissions and some people have stated that they are unsure of the death of Prigozhin. He could have faked his death. Wikipedia has actually moved the place of where he died, so there's also some uncertainty in there. Some people saw a business jet that took off from Moscow and landed in fucking Bucha, I think it was, or something like that, or inside of, I think I have the Oyster Defender he was talking about. I'll pull that up here in a second.
Блядь, это Евгений Викторович, это Пригожин, это же пиздец. Он еще, блядь, Зеленский позавидует ему актерству этому, блядь. Тот чувак глумится над всеми, блядь. А тут все, блядь, одни радуются, другие, там, пиздец. Хорош, тормозите, куда вас поволокло, блядь. Тут не только я его знаю, как вот, ну, блядь.
I don't know if this is a brilliant actor. I wouldn't exactly say a brilliant actor, but we'll have to analyze the situation. Unless anything else comes out, guys, he's dead. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not dead. Unless anything else comes out, he's dead. This is also this is always the things that we know that happens when something like this happens, because you know it's Russia. You know, but we'll have Ukrainian. Sorry, yeah, Zelensky's statement here. You know, when Ukraine was addressing the world countries about planes, is not what we meant. To be honest, we meant something else entirely. We wanted support. There's probably is some sense of the word will also definitely help. He's wearing a nice shirt today with a Ukrainian symbol. Look at that.
Точно допоможуть. Що стосується,
we had nothing to do with it. This is for sure. I'm sure everyone understands who is responsible for this situation. I've never heard confirming if this is what he says. I don't speak Ukrainian, but let's hope it's what he says, right? So, okay.
Выразить слова искреннего соболезнования семьям всех
And that's turning on.
погибших. Это всегда трагедия. И
Here's Putin talking about it. This is Putin talking about it here. I'll go back.
действительно, что касается этой авиационной катастрофы, то прежде всего хочу выразить слова искреннего соболезнования семьям всех погибших. Это всегда трагедия. И действительно, если там находились, вроде первичные данные говорят о том, что там находились и сотрудники компании «Вагнер», хотел бы отметить, что это люди, которые внесли существенный вклад в наше общее дело борьбы с неонацистским режимом на Украине.
Really?
Мы об этом
The fact that
помним.
he's so, like, he's speaking in a, like, his kind of voice, and while saying that, he says, fighting the neo-Nazi regime in Ukraine. Really?
Мы об этом помним, знаем и не забудем.
I will remember that. I won't forget. What did he say?
И не
You remember that? Know that, and will not forget. If Putin comes out and says he thinks it was Ukraine, which I already think some Russian officials, I don't think Putin has said it was Ukraine yet, but if he comes out and says it was Ukraine, right?
Хотел бы отметить, что
Primary data suggests that employees of Wagner Company were there. These are people who have made significant contributions to a common cause of fighting neo-Nazis regime in Ukraine. We remember this, we know it, and we will not forget it. I know Prigozhin. I knew Prigozhin a long time ago, since the early 90s. He was a man of complicated fate. He had serious mistakes in his life. He achieved the result he needed for himself, and when I asked him to do so for the common cause, as in the last months. He was a talented man, a talented businessman. He worked not only in our country, he worked abroad in Africa. In particular, he was involved in oil, gas, precious metals, and stones. This is the full statement from Russia, from Putin. How you doing, Ocean? There's air raids turning on in Ukraine right now. It's certainly like a weird situation here. We understand that he's dead, right? And unless anything else comes out, my statement is that he's dead. But I will say, guys, that you know, this is Russia. Yes, Ocean, he has. He has cried a little bit. He cried when he got home. You know? It's just funny because his cry sounded like laughter, but yeah, we'll gloss past it. The only thing that's a bit weird, and people were talking about this, this sort of thing right here. If we can find it here. So here we have Voice Defender here, that was talking about a plane that took off. The second Prigozhin-owned jet, RI-02748, left Moscow today for Bucha. Yeah, it landed in Bucha Airport at 15:11 UTC. Unclear why the plane went there and who it was carrying. So nobody knows who the fuck it was carrying. I mean, you know, it's a Prigozhin jet. You know, you'd think that when Prigozhin is dead, you'd think that you think maybe they would stop flying his private jets. But yeah, I mean, listen, guys. Again, unless they prove the factor, or we see another video from him or something like that, then he's dead. You know. Because right now, there will be a lot of people saying that he's probably not dead, and he's, you know, and unless I see a full video of him standing in front of us saying, I'm not dead, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not dead. I will sit here and say that as far as my knowledge goes, and as far as BBC, CNN, everybody's knowledge goes, he's dead. You know, this is not just me saying, it is the whole entirety of pretty much Western media at the moment that are producing the factor that he is dead. So, yeah, it's pretty much, there's not a lot else to say about it. I mean, Bucha is in Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan is quite a famous, quite a neutral, how could you put it, neutral sort of non-aligned, how would you put it, well, I guess just a genuine country with no borders where they can fly. They fly over Europe all the time. Azerbaijan planes are flying over Europe and in the US all the time. Like, you look around, you could find at least one, almost every day you could find one Azerbaijan plane up. So they're kind of like a country with no borders when it comes to the military effects. I expect them to have a strong military, but you get it. The only thing I'm worried about is if Putin is going to spin this shit. Come out with a statement that it was Ukraine or something. If this is all fake again, what. Oh my God, Wagner, what are you doing? We're attacking the wrong country. There's a Russian military plane, Antonov AN-148, heading directly for, heading up along the Finnish border here. Oh, it is. It's heading along the Finnish border here. What, a Boeing 747 in Poland? There's a Polish military plane. We got Airbus. We don't have the NATO 21 up. It appears to be down at the moment. Bunch of P8s. Wow, actually, well, not that many P8s. There's an E3 flying just outside Richmond or Virginia Beach. It's at Virginia Beach right now. Other than that, there are a Air Force 2 is up, flying just. There's a P8 flying just above Washington. Actually, it appears to maybe be heading for the air base. It's very low down. It appears to maybe be heading for River Nass or the naval station and Pawtucket River. And then we got Air Force 2 or some or a Boeing 757-200 up as well, heading maybe to Andrews or something like that. They usually fly around those places. We got that E3 heading out. They're doing some surveillance near Washington. We got a bunch of C5s, actually. A good amount of C5s. Other than that, there's not a lot of air activity going on at the moment. Ugh, that is. Let's see if Lukashenko made some statements. Let's see if there's any Lukashenko statements. The Wagner camp is being dismantled in Belarus. In total, 101 of the 273 tents have already been removed. That's quite fast.
Сказал, замочить можем. Это не проблема. Какой Пригожин? Это очень авторитет.
That's an old statement right there, I think. They're also saying that it's not the first time that Prigozhin has faked his death. I'm not sitting here saying that he has faked his death, but I will just say it is a very weird situation. You know, are they using it as a pretext for Wagner to move out of to pack up and, you know, move out of Belarus because now they're done and now they're moving somewhere else, or what are they doing? right? But I will say, why bring your, I will say it is quite weird, right? I mean, I'm not saying I want to say this because I mean it's hard to throw out statements when you don't really know if anything is happening, but yeah. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. That's the best we can do. It wouldn't surprise me. Literally, it wouldn't surprise me if there's like a if there's some all of a sudden just fucking transition west of Minsk, Belarus explosion reported. Oh, there's smoke at training ground near Transnistrians. This is 48 minutes ago. But it's near a training ground. I mean, it's... have cut off the internet. That was from yesterday. Explosion. Smoke at the training ground near Transnistrians. But it's it's a training ground. It's unlikely that they I mean, it's quite a big explosion to be training with. I wouldn't know them to train with doing such a big explosions, but whatever, right? Okay, so we have some chilling statements here from the deputy head of the United Transitional Cabinet of Belarus, head of National Anti-Crisis Management, and ex-minister and ambassador of Belarus. Starting tomorrow, 25th August, Russian troops will start arriving in Belarus to take part in a large military exercise, Combat Brothers 2023, training of reconnaissance, and here's the cool part, guys: radiation and chemical defense, etc. Exercises near NATO borders. Is it just a nerve-wracking? So they got so they have Wagner approaching their corners. They have Wagner approaching their country, and all of a sudden they decide to hold exercises. This isn't just, by the way, this isn't just coming from nobody. He's a verified user and a diplomat and a former guy. It's Pavel Latushk. Who is that guy? Former Belarusian culture minister. This is just some random motherfucker. This is a former Belarusian culture minister that has just posted a tweet saying he was also ambassador. What does it say? He's ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary and Belarusian culture minister from 2009 to 2012. Minsk State University, Right Russia Stately University. He's now stated this, that starting tomorrow, 25th of August, will start arriving in Belarus to take part in a large military exercise, Combat Brotherhood, training of reconnaissance, radiation, and chemical defense. I'm going to retweet this. People need to know about this right here. Exercises near NATO borders. Is it just a nerve-wracking? Okay, so that's not for fun. That's literally, I mean, you don't, I mean, he could be lying, right? But you don't get more real news. I don't think you get more real news than that. And by the way, it wasn't just late. It was 8 hours ago. I don't know why I didn't see that, but he posted it 8 hours ago. Nobody even talked about that. All right. The U.S. Department of Defense has announced that the flight and maintenance training of F-16s will hopefully begin at a handful of Ukrainian pilots and Air Force personnel at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona, once they are able to complete English language classes. They are actually training up Ukrainian soldiers and F-16 soldiers in pilots in fucking USA right now. Apparently in Minnesota or Arizona or whatever. Putin says Wagner's support is out to be happy for Prigozhin, and as he's finally got ammunition from Moscow. What? That statement right there made no sense whatsoever. Is pretty. All right. Well, how long is that exercise gonna take? I mean, this is all just like it's another exercise after another exercise after another exercise after another exercise after another exercise, right? But now they're combining Belarusian and I don't know, probably not Wagner, right? Or combining Belarusian and Russian soldiers, or Belarusian soldiers that's just been training with, Wagner. They will then provide proper training / Russian training, which, when you think about it, is really just a bunch of people running around in a field and then some officer will film it and call it a day, or something like that. I still have the feeling that they're going to open up another front in Belarus and try and go for Kyiv one more time. Although I have my doubts in the factor. Seems a bit unlikely. Again, it's not a likely thing that you can do when you're not in any way possible, shape or form capable. Although I will say, if they are able to put enough people there, have the good old way of Russian fighting a war, just, throw everything you have into the enemy lines and hope something happens. That's usually the way that Russia fights a war. It usually is a way of them fighting wars. I can't, say anything else about it. Exactly, with 1950 years, Cold War shit, We got an Airbus doing reconnaissance just outside England here, just outside Newcastle, and just outside. It's quite long outside. If few hundred miles, maybe. Got a United States Black Hawk. United States Black Hawk. Another a French tanker over France. How could you have known? French tanker over France. Whoa. There's a Q4 Global Hawk in Bulgaria. Took off from Greece or something like that. Or, well, no, maybe took off from probably Italy when I know this is a dream, but a drone base. Is it doing reconnaissance along Turkey border? Oh wait, no, it's Forte 11. Right. No, it's Forte 11, guys. It's heading back. It's been there all day. It's been doing rounds around in yeah, it's been doing some round around here up in the Black Sea, holding an eye on Crimea or something like that. It's been heading back now. All right. Well. Well. It's really a third world country in many ways, yeah. It you know, it really was a it really was an amazing find to see that Russia wasn't what we thought it was, this first world country. It was in fact a extremely third world country, and was never ever seen to have been never in fact a first world country. I mean, the only thing is when you go to Moscow, you know, you go to Russia, they'll show you Moscow. Moscow is a bustling metropolis, right? That's where they invest all the money, because that's where all the nation leaders, that's where everybody goes. Or just outside the cities. Just when these cities just across from Europe as well and everything like that, those cities look fine. St. Petersburg and cities just across the border, all the way up to Moscow and then a little further, right? Go longer out towards where China is. You know, when we get down towards China, you may have some cities that look somewhat nice again, and down towards the borders of other countries, right? But all the way, if you go upwards or inside in the middle of the country, the cities inside of the middle of the country of Russia is pure shit. I mean, it really is not a beautiful place at all. You know, they are really poorly kept together and underdeveloped, and you know, some people have been talking about the fact that they don't have lavatories or proper equipment for that, or they don't even have fucking, you know, they have nothing. There's nothing that resembles anything of modern day, which is really insane. You know, some people, you go further out and live in these, you know, African houses. When you go to Africa, you think, is that a video taken from Africa? No, that's taken from fucking, it's taken from fucking Russia, you know? And that's insane. There's obviously also the people stating that you know, the CIA planted a bomb on a plane from in Africa. Right. Well, maybe not unlikely, but, you know, planting a bomb inside a plane of Prigozhin is going to be a hard job, you know, but Wagner made a significant contribution to fight against Nazism in Ukraine. We will never forget, Putin says. But the factor is they didn't, because they took a city called Bakhmut, which, by the way, the Russians are losing. How long did it take Wagner to take that fucking city? It took them months to take one city. It took them months. Months and months of fighting. And what you don't understand about Russian tactics right now is that the way Russia fights its wars at the moment is by, they still have some of the professional forces, right? And when they have some of those so-called professional soldiers, they're not going to use those. Instead, what they do is that they take a lot of unprofessional soldiers. They push those unprofessional soldiers into the front to as sort of meat and to cannon fodder, to wear down the enemy's stockpiles and disrupt enemies and to hopefully shook the enemies up a bit, right? When that's all said and done, then the professional soldiers come in and finish the job. Although it never actually happens because they won't use their professional soldiers because they never actually get anywhere. And if they actually use their professional soldiers, you know, then he won't have any more professional soldiers. Then they'll have to use amateur soldiers towards amateur soldiers. But they're so-called professional soldiers. Listen, you're going to be called professional soldier if you've been in Ukraine for a month and haven't died. That's when you're a professional soldier. That's when they're going to call you professional soldier. Trust me, that's where you get a professional soldier status. All right, this is Elon Musk's new campaign. Apparently, he's yeah. So he loves Anna. You know, he loves Anna, which is you know, he loves Anna. Yeah, he just loves Anna. Probably his wife or something. Pat Ryder says U.S. intelligence initial assessment is that it's likely the Wagner chief Prigozhin was killed in the plane crash, but says there's no indication that a surface-to-air missile took his plane down. Right. Well, of course not, because if they told everybody that something like that happened, oh my God, what would happen, right? It also the statement from Putin is that Wagner boss made serious mistakes in his life. You know, what mistakes do you think he's talking about? You know, I have to be a fucking genius to figure out what mistakes he's talking about, right? I mean, he's obviously talking about the coup. They're talking about these 100 tents that's been taken down. I mean, we don't know if they're gonna take on all the tents, if they're gonna sell. It's gonna, you know. Difficult fate. I'm waiting for the factor of him pointing out, oh, this is I'm waiting for the factor of him pointing out that this is like Ukrainian or something. I'm just waiting for Putin to go, Ukraine did this or something like that. On August 23rd, we all felt this guy right here, right? Point this out. This guy right here, on August 23rd of August 2023, we all felt and knew his pain. So this guy right here is saying that a young Russian Prigozhin fan of Wagner supporter can't stop crying on a live stream. Would be a shame if half the world saw his tears. And this guy says we all knew his pain. We all knew the pain that this man had of terrorists. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Can't believe how sad this is. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to leave. I can't believe how sad that is. Can't believe how sad that is. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, I tell you what, guys. One thing I will tell you is that, one thing I will tell you is that I do wish that he would have taken up that scoop. You know, if he did overthrow the government, pull it out of Ukraine, you know, then I would have said, well done. But until then, he didn't do shit. So I'm not exactly sad about the factor that he's dead. He's a terrorist and somebody who stood for the attacks that Wagner has conducted throughout their careers. So, yeah, no, I'm not really sad. Special service have activated. Wagner convoy moved towards Russia. That's 3 hours ago, but yeah. Signed by. There's also saying that Russia is launching an investigation into the cause of, attack. Zaporizhzhia region. Apparently there's been an explosion. Reports of explosion here.
Не дамо.
Daily news about Ukraine due to 30 minutes ago. All right, we got Flash here. He posted a daily news about Ukraine. We'll put this one up here. We'll get you guys this one. Oh, sorry. Maybe the sound would be a good thing to have on.
Святкуємо 32-гу річницю української незалежності. 32 роки безперервної незалежності, яка триватиме й далі, яку не дамо розірвати, і яку українці не випустять зі своїх рук. Тут є багато свідчень того, наскільки давньою є історія української державності.
Давайте, остановитесь рядом с флагом. Флагом рядом стань. Хама. Гуржев в Крыму. Працює з нас. Героям слава.
Taste that, motherfuckers. Give that fucking... Taste that, motherfuckers. Take that, you Russian pigs. Take that, you Russian pigs. That's Ukraine coming knocking on your doors with some raw American fucking steel. And French and German, but you get it.
Ты посмотри, падает. Вон, около фермы. Горим.
Там находились и сотрудники компании «Вагнер». Это был человек сложной судьбы, и ошибки у него были серьезные в жизни, и добивался он результатов нужных.
Yes, thank you, Thank you, Flash. Go follow this guy right here. Great guy. It's just search up Flash on Twitter. This guy is amazing. So that's the news that we got here. I'm gonna go on TikTok because I know some people hate TikTok, but we're gonna go on it because Phil DeFranco, the man, has also uploaded some videos about this, and I want to get his news on it. There are about 3 videos I want to watch from him, and because that right there is he has some good info here, especially also on a Niger situation that happened some days ago with France being blocked. But yeah, it's all right. Here we go. So we'll go watch the 3 here and then move on to some other ones, but this is what we're going to be watching right now because we can. So there we go. I do follow the guy, I'm just not logged in.
U.S. intelligence believes that a Russian anti-air missile shot down Prigozhin's plane, killing all of Wagner's senior leadership. But U.S. officials believe a bomb exploded on board. Also, British intelligence believes Russia's FSB took the plane down. But either way, it is believed that yesterday's assassination was a message to all of Russia's elite. If Putin's willing to kill Prigozhin in broad daylight over Moscow, then absolutely no one is safe. So this, as Putin has sent his condolences to Prigozhin's family, and he says he's waiting for the results of the investigation. Follow to stay in the loop. U.S. intelligence believes
Waiting for the result of the investigation.
Wagner says the Kremlin will now be captured after Russia killed the group's leader. But shortly after Prigozhin's death, Putin was seen joyfully speaking at a public event, though Russia has opened up a quote-unquote criminal investigation into the crash, with some Russian officials blaming Ukraine, but Wagner pinning the blame straight on the Kremlin. But the Pentagon says no one should be surprised that Prigozhin is dead. Right, Biden says he's not surprised and that not much happens in Russia that Putin isn't behind. But one of the biggest questions is Putin going to try to claim that $250K bounty the FBI had on Prigozhin? I don't know. Follow to stay in the loop. Wagner says Algeria says France.
So, a 250K, by the way, on Prigozhin was made, I think, by FBI or something. Putin could claim it if he wanted to. But then he'll also be telling himself responsible for the kill, so probably not going to happen, right?
Can't fly military.
Also, Putin is worth $300 billion, so.
Aircraft over the country in order to conduct a military operation in Niger. France responded by saying, cool, we never asked for such a thing. Also, 12 Nigerian soldiers, as in soldiers from Niger, were killed in a terrorist ambush. That's the 8th terrorist attack on the army since the coup happened. Also, the African Union has kicked Niger out of the Union due to the coup. And the new U.S. ambassador has arrived in the country, but they won't be meeting with the junta. Follow to stay in the loop. Algeria says France.
Algeria came out with a statement stating that France cannot use their airspace to attack Niger or conduct a military operation. Now the funny thing is, France never asked Algeria to do if they could do it, because French don't ask, they just do. Which is fun. A Russian supersonic bomber has been destroyed, by the way. Some pictures and videos we showed 2 days ago, we didn't know it was a supersonic bomber, but apparently it was a supersonic bomber that has been destroyed, and it was Russia's, so yeah. Right. Yeah, a Russian supersonic bomber has been destroyed by Ukraine. That's a pretty precise targeting. Just tells you just how much better Ukraine has gotten at it's EU-160. Yeah, it appears so. All I know is that they said it was a supersonic bomber and it was destroyed on the airfield. So, pretty cool. No, not a U.S. bomber. No. Ukrainian drones destroys Russian supersonic bomber. Look at that. You can see the plane right there. This is a supersonic bomber here. It's supersonic. This is right here, right? It's a supersonic bomber. That one right there. Look at that. Look at the tail end. Look at that one right there, and look at the end of that. That's a supersonic bomber right there. And I don't know if you guys can see not a TU-6160. Well, I don't know. It's oh yeah, no, it's a TU-22M3. That's right. Yeah, it was a TU-22M3. That one right there. Yeah, the supersonic bomber, the supersonic fire, guys. But I don't know if you guys can see something wrong in this image right here. But something, I mean, I can't spot it myself, but there's something happening in this image right here. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm guessing I'm getting pretty hot, you know? And I'm pretty sure that in a supersonic speed, I'm going to figure out what's wrong here. And I will be looking into it. Because if I don't, then everything is going to be supersonic fire in my head. If I don't figure out what goes on here, that I don't know what I'm doing now, but you get it. I'm doing deception. Hey, anybody who doesn't know what I said a lot this stream, so you want to go back a bit. We just watched what happened in Ukraine today. I've talked about the Japan dumping the so-called radioactive, which it isn't, by the way, and which is completely safe. You know, the whole Japan thing, jumping these radioactive waters and all that stuff, it's completely safe. Go back in the video, get it yourself recapped up, or stay, you know, up to you. The last hour has pretty much been straight up news. Prigozhin pilot had a post-vaccine myocardic heart attack, maybe cost of... Really? And now they're coming out saying, oh, it's a COVID vaccine. I'm fixing to rewind. Yeah, I've talked about it a lot, and I'm not gonna recap on everything because then I would destroy my voice if I had to recap everything. But if you guys want to, you know, I just want to rewind. You watch the first hour or half an hour of what this being on here. You could probably get catched up with those things. Yeah, you do that deception, and I'll see you in a bit. A memorial with 1,400 buried Soviet soldiers was reopened after renovation. The ceremony was attended by employees of embassies of Russia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, and Kazakhstan, as well as representative of Hungary. At the ceremony, a greeting from Russian ambassador. Yeah, Don't really give a shit. Well, I mean, I care about the Soviet, veterans. I don't think we should be taking out on them, but you get it. UK is calling on the citizens in Belarus to leave the country immediately. Did they do that? I mean, the US told them, so. I think everybody pretty much have told them. I think that raid killed Russian soldiers. Yeah, I mean, deception. I was taking a look at it, right, and after my understanding, it was Russian soldiers that died, and not Ukrainian, because having to trust blame the U.S. or Ukraine for shooting down a plane. Yeah, exactly, deception. But also, let's point out the obvious here, guys. Russia lies about pretty much everything, right? So.
А что невозможно? Предательство. Умеете прощать?
Don't say everything. Yes, but not everything. Betrayal. Ooh. Ooh. Sometimes you get more than you originally asked for. Alright. Alright, let's take a look at what's happening here in Niger. Let's get a news on that. I've not been looking into that. Other than the Algeria situation there, I haven't heard much. Other than I think they're doing some kind of, if ECOWAS dares to invade Niger, not only are we intervening, but we will simultaneously militarily invade Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, to reinstate the rightful winner of the 2003 election. He added, "We are fully aware of the true victor of the president's elections, Amisa Guji. There's still, I mean, this could be turning into an African Cold War kind of thing, a tension that's going to be very hot soon, but to be pointed out here, guys, I think there's a very likely possibility of something happening still, because they haven't reached a common sense yet. I mean, now Niger has called not only on allies, it's literally gotten allies now, and I have a hard time picking sides when it comes to this. I really have. I'm going to stay neutral when it comes to it. The UK adds its voice to the global outcry, demanding the release of President Mohamed Bazoum in Niger alongside the US, France, and Germany. What? Oh, the UK. Oh, right, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Did they demand the release of the USA? What? Niger, a delegation of Islamic leaders who met with the military junta in Niger returned to brief President Bola Tinubu at the State House, happening now. That was 6 hours ago. Yeah, Niger's called up and its friends, or people who support, the change. Current delegation of latest, not too much else happening here. Military strikes in Mexico as a solution to the Ferna. Oh, wow, that's a completely different thing here. I read a report stating that they were going to meet at a specific lake. I haven't been able to find this report once more, but I read a report and it said within 70 or 48 hours they were supposed to meet at a lake. I can't confirm this. I read it. That's the only thing I know of their troopments. Other than that, we have heard of multiple amount of camps being dismantled. We've heard about 100 of tents already been taken down within 24 hours, and more happening as we're speaking. And the Belarusian government yesterday closed the internet to the areas making sure that Wagner couldn't talk to each other. I have no idea of where they are. There was a video released yesterday of them talking about, we're going to do something soon. Other than that, again, don't really know. We have this statement right here, deception, which is from the former culture minister of Belarus. Yeah, I'll read this out again if anybody didn't hear. Starting tomorrow, 25th of August, Russian troops will start arriving in Belarus to take part in a large military exercise, Combat Brotherhood 2022. Training of reconnaissance, radiation, and chemical defense, etc. exercises near the borders. It's just nerve-wracking. This guy, by the way, is a former culture minister of Belarus, a national anti-crisis manager, a ex-ambassador, and he's part of the cabinet of Belarus. You don't get more serious than that. That's my understanding of the situation here. I think we have a video of this also was recorded yesterday. A so-called nuke in Moscow. Just after all this happened, it could have been moving to Belarus or possibly alongside the supposed drills happening tomorrow if they're conducting nuclear drills. What's going on here? Lady Gaga? Oh. Wait, what? Listen, taking down a tent takes minutes, especially when you're 10,000 men. Taking down a tent takes no time. Me too, deception. You know? Makes me wonder if they're even fucking, if this whole thing is again just some fucking bullshit. You know, a Prigozhin private-owned jet took off from Moscow after he was dead and landed in Bucha in Azerbaijan. I'm not saying he's still alive, and I am not gonna say unless I get a fucking confirmation if he's still alive. But unless right now, all we know is that he's dead. You know, could it be a you know, a fucking lie? I don't know, but seems likely. Did I not retweet that? Maybe I didn't. I retweeted a lot of things throughout the day. Oh, I gotta change my name. My name is something that it shouldn't be. Well, I mean. There we go. Boring History News. That's my new name. Good, that's better. Oh, that's true, Ocean. But you know, Michael Jackson and Prigozhin is two very, 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 very different people. So you know, yeah, not really the best comparisons because they are very different people. I mean, on another level of you know, different. But Prigozhin is the kind of person that would fake his own death. In case of a you know, thing. But yeah, I do get what you're saying. But yeah, I'm not sitting here saying that he's alive. I'm not gonna sit there and say he's alive because I don't believe he's alive. I believe he's dead. But you know, it's just still, you know, a weird day, a weird scenario, and we still can't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, I know you're saying they're dead, and I'm not saying they're not dead. I'm just saying, you know, this whole situation in itself is weird. So yeah. Hey, listen, I think they're dead, you know, don't get me wrong. They're dead. You know? They are very dead. But yeah. Yeah. Norway, forgot to say, is delivering F-16s to Ukraine. Raw American steel. More F-16s for Ukraine by Norway? What's that smell? Oh yeah, it's Russia. It's the Russians after hearing the sound of the raw American steel. USA, USA, USA. There are multiple explosions in Zaporizhzhia right now. Hopefully nothing's going on. USA, USA. Yeah, yeah. USA. Yeah, yeah, USA. Da da da. Finway, more like whatever way. That was hilarious. Finland, more like Neverland. Why? Because they've never been conquered. Oh yeah. Well, did they actually? Well, no, I think maybe Sweden owned them for quite a bit, but not. They didn't directly get conquered. I don't think they even existed at that point, really. So, but since they've existed, never conquered, never. The Russians tried twice, thrice, a lot of times, failed each times, because they are shit. They're shit. By Estonian PM hating. Really? Cactus? No, I had not heard about that. I mean, scandals are not really my thing. You know? Where did you hear it from? If we could ask. Can I fucking Russian war update. Oh, that's... No. They're not really talking about the explosions. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, it could just be proper explosion. There's multiple fighting going on along the line right here. You know, right here. So there's a lot of fighting going on right here. So, you know, wouldn't be uncommon to hear about explosions happening. It is the front line. Oh, Sumy region also has the, district in Sumy region has that one now. Estonian PM. Estonian PM Katja Kallas urges to clarify husband's Russian business ties. Well, company owned by Estonian PM Kaja Kallas' husband continues to deliveries to Russia. Well, not exactly her fault, but yeah, but if you are the husband of a prime minister of a country, you might want to think about, you know, not delivering with the direct enemy. But yeah, because if the Estonian government is not going to collapse because of a scandal. Every single prime minister has had a scandal. It's not going to collapse because of a because the prime minister husband does business in Russia. Things doesn't work like that. They're not gonna launch it, you know. And by the way, they're still in NATO, you know, so Russia's not gonna be able to attack them. By the way, so yeah. Here's Karma right here. Look how big and tough he is when he was talking to start with.
Передаем привет пану Зеленскому. Спасибо за чудные
Thanks for wonderful machine.
мы пригоним мотолык.
For bring up an MTLB and take this shit away.
Отряд Керчь.
Boys, I'm 19 years old. It's alright, no one's gonna touch you. The Ukrainians are just, you know, fucking nice people. Generally nice people, just don't really, like, look at that. Instant comment right there. A Russian soldier that was taken back there. A Russian soldier, what you might want to point out, with proper equipment, it appears. Probably one of the oligarch's sons. Boys, I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 18. What do you want? Right? I mean, I'm just saying. Well, I don't, yeah, so I don't think it's going to collapse directly, but yeah, it's certainly, they're still in NATO, by the way, so, you know, they're not going to attack a country that's in NATO, for now. The UK will always be by your side as a staunch and unwavering friend. On your Independence Day, here's a glimpse of just some of the support the UK has delivered in the air and sea. Rishi Sunak to all of Ukrainians. So there's a Rishi Sunak tweet here talking about the Ukrainians' Independence Day. Burj Khalifa was lit up today. So here's the list of the amount. Look at that. I mean, that's just insane. Well, the thing is, I think the weird thing is they're saying 42 from Netherlands. The only thing I don't get is that was a bit on the side. I mean, they're taught some said 61, but then, you know, obviously Norway came in, so they said 61, and now Norway's donated 12, so that would make 73, right? Well, actually, oh yeah, so that would make sense. They're also a little bit skeptical about the 42, but they may end up doing it. So if they're going to do that, we're talking about 73 F-16s to Ukraine. That's one hell of a fucking, you know, fighting force in the fucking sky. They want 100, but I think 73 is one hell of a fucking, you know, is one hell of a fighting force. Especially thinking that it's not Russian shit. It's an F-16. You know, it's Norwegian, Danish, and Netherlands maintained and system upgrades and all that stuff. So it's very, very functional machines. I would probably guess. I've given up on the fucking news stories here, guys. I've given you everything there is. There's not much left for me to report. I mean, most news stories only take about 20 minutes, right? When people go live on the Mick Media, I've been live for an hour. I'm gonna go the full 3 hours here, but yeah.
מסתובב בכבישי יהודה ושומרון, יותר חשוב...
Right. Yeah, they'll be okay. Oh yeah. Russian air chief has been fired. Apparently, that was also some news this morning. And Russian air chief has been fired. Apparently, been replaced. So you know. Yeah, I really don't know. India lands spacecraft on moon. Yeah, he got fired out of a window. Actually, he got fired out of the cockpit of his planes. Huh. Ice will I get stoned? Well, we know something's gonna happen within the next 2 days, right? We know the indications here, guys. Something's gonna happen within the next 1 to 2 days as of right now, right? And that means, you know, there is no more waiting a factor of anything, right? What we know of is something is probably going to happen within the next 24... Ukraine's turning red here. Turning red down towards the sea, so it's probably some kind of naval threat. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Or UAV attack. Artillery, perhaps. The idea behind what I'm saying here is that I think Wagner is going to launch something within something or something. Although, I will say, we'll have to wait to see what happens within the next 48 hours for me to actually give you any concrete knowledge of what's about to go on, what happened, or what's about to happen here. Of course, we won't know until it happens, right? But if Russia is moving huge convoys of military equipment to Belarus, I just don't know how they would be able to do that while Wagner is literally on their fucking tail, you know. Yeah, I have no idea how Russia plans to do that. And also, they're gonna start bringing equipment, which means that bringing the amount of equipment they're gonna talk about. It's probably going to take a few days, and then the exercise is going to start, and this exercise probably going to, usually it's between maybe 2-6 weeks, and then when that's done, then we'll have to see. So if anything is going to happen, you know, in general with EU, sorry, Belarus or something, it may not happen before the next month or so, 2 months or something like that. Are you doing sick? So, I mean... a lot of waiting and a lot of unknowingness right now at the moment, you know. Right. Was. I'm looking into Belarus at the moment here. See if there's anything coming up. I mean, we may also just hear, you know, what I'm also been waiting on. I've been waiting on for a bit. It's the announcement from the Baltics or Poland to close the border with Belarus. I'm still waiting on it. You know, it's probably going to happen. Although right now, they probably don't have a lot of reasons to. If Belarus and Russia starts conducting drills on their border, they may have to intervene here. This is the latest. This was the yesterday. That's all. We've never seen a video of anything from anybody. There's no money. They ran back to Russia. Yeah, no money, no everything. They're gonna. What? Yeah, I mean, if you got no money, you got nothing happening. You got nothing, right? Then nothing, you know, you can get. And unless he's, unless they're conducting it, you know, as of like a revenge of loyalty, then no.
Разговоров идет о том, чем будет заниматься Вагнер в данной ситуации, мы скажем одно. Мы уже стартуем. Ждите нас. Все. Много разговоров идет о том, чем будет заниматься.
This is the only video we've seen. They're putting on these blinker lights here, which means they are holding into the side. We've seen them done that before, and they're still in Belarus as of right now. Of course, they're not in Russia at the moment, but we'll have to see. You know, we know that they're still in Belarus. We know that they have started to pack tents down. These are from some of the largest camps. There's multiple amount of camps, but yeah, we'll have to look into it. Jesus Christ. Urge U.S. citizens to immediately leave Belarus and return to the United States where it's safe. I mean, this is obviously a Russian propaganda here, right? Born and raised in the USSR, Putin's agent. Pronouns Chim Chiro. 2A, no medical fascism. No press. Yeah, you want to listen to that guy right there, right? Great stuff. Great stuff. And that's the city of Philadelphia. You really got to get your shit under control when it comes to that drug use. I can't believe people are condoning people who even use drugs in the first place. You know, when it comes to the green stuff, I may understand it. But when it comes to the strong stuff, you know, that trans stuff and those things, you know, the things they call the zombie drug, you know, I don't understand why anybody would ever condone anybody doing that, especially when it can literally kill you. The thing it does to you, to your body, you know, it burns away your skin. Not only does it burn, well, it doesn't burn, but it rottens your skin up. You know, it's ridiculous. Can't look, well, all the way through, yeah. Sorry. We'll give you 1 second here, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was gone there for a bit. I was on a break. Witchy, welcome, Witchy. Sorry, I had to have a conversation with someone. Yeah, so what's happening here? I want to go back a bit. I mean, I'll give you the quick rewind here. We have, of course, the stuff I sent you. We have other stuff. How long was I gone? 40 minutes? Was I gone 40 minutes? Might have gone half an hour. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Sorry, I have gone through most of the news, guys. If you are missing out on news, I do request to please rewind. I mean, I'll have to go through it all again. I can't do that. There's so many tweets and things I pulled up. So please do go back in the stream and please do go back in the stream and take a look at what happened earlier. I've talked about it all. Go back to the first half an hour. You'll pretty much get the whole gist of it. I could rerun it all. 73, if you are here, Witchy. 73 F-16s to Ukraine. 73. "38 minutes ago. Go at this explosion. Go to shelter immediately. Paris tonight." Oh, I was waiting for this. Yes, I was waiting for this. This happened today here. What's up, Bryson? This happened today here. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to. This was something. Burj Khalifa has been shown, but they're showing the colors of Ukraine, I think. It's very beautiful. I'm gonna go off, and it's gonna, I think. There you go. Look at that. Yep. Ukrainian colors here tonight in Paris. What a thing! What a thing! What a thing! Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's one hell of a showdown to Putin right there. That's one hell of a showdown to Putin, saying we support Ukraine by turning the Eiffel Tower into the Ukrainian flag. Slava Ukraine will go on. The Burj Khalifa has shown the flags of Ukraine. It is amazing. So that's what's happening there. Other than that, we have the news of this one right here. If you have not seen everything, please do rewind. Again, I do want to reiterate that if you have not seen what I have been talking about, rewind to the first half hour. You'll pretty much get the whole gist of it. Go watch the video from the back there. Skip through it if you want, or just watch now. Come the videos as, but I won't be giving a quick rewind or not. But
Чурка Вагнер.
3D walls, dinosaur park in China. Elon Musk is an international treasure. Agree? No. Ukrainian special forces conducted. Okay, we have 9 hours ago. Talking about this earlier, there was videos here. So there's an official video here. I think we'll show that. It's quite important news here. So the story goes, and we'll tell the story here. Ukrainian special forces conducted a raid on northwestern Crimea earlier today near Cape Takhanut, close to where Russia air defense battery was destroyed by a Storm Shadow cruise missile strike yesterday. Coincidence? I think not. During the raid, a Ukrainian flag was placed near the coast and a Russian outpost was attacked. Some people were claiming that these special forces was taken out by a security guard in his underwear, which supposedly there was a security guard in his underwear that was able to pin down the Ukrainian soldiers and keep them until the Russians came. Yeah, no fucking bullshit. No, no, it's fucking bullshit. Okay, guys, it's the most bullshit you'll ever hear. There was not a Ukrainian security guard in his underwear able to hold off with an AK-47 up to 20 Ukrainian special forces. That's so fucking bullshit. What really happened, I'll tell you what really happened. Ukrainian special forces took out, and the report said at least 30 Russian soldiers. This is well equipped. This is a 50 cal or something like that on the fucking front. I can't see what it is, but it's something. It's a machine gun, right? On the front of the boat, and you're telling me a Russian security guard took out well equipped and special forces? No. Wow, that guy was Captain Underpants. Exactly. This is supposedly videos released from this special operation here. As we can see a Ukrainian flag being posted up on the wall there. If you listen carefully, you can actually hear the guy's heartbeat. Yeah, you can actually hear the guy's heartbeat, I think. Sounds like you can hear the guy's heartbeat. This is either in the water or when they were firing. It sounds like fire going on here. Sounds like there's a machine gun fire on the boat of the gun. Sounds like they're making a quick escape there. Something went dark a bit. The video then went dark. I don't know why they would release a video that then went dark. He possibly could have stopped recording. I mean, there's untold truth and untold truth. If there was a Captain Underwear that was able to pin down, 20 Russian Ukrainian special soldiers, I want Ukraine to reconsider their special forces program because it's not working. But yeah, as of right now, I don't think so. Voice Defender himself also said that there was maybe more stories to the incident. So yeah. Evgeny Prigozhin and Dmitry Yudkin has been identified among the corpses collected by from the crash site of the plane shut down by Russian air defense missiles near Moscow and Russia. Separately, Vladimir Osklin confirms throughout his own source that Prigozhin and Yudkin are dead. He is dead. There's no more confirming, no more anything left. He is dead. There is no more saying he's not. He has been identified and he is dead. This is, of course, Russian identifier, so. But channels and everybody is confirming it. Until further notification, he's dead. And we'll leave it at that. In Kherson, armed forces of Ukraine made an unusual gift to the occupiers. They launched a flag left on the left bank of Dnieper River, which was temporarily under Russian occupied territory. Let's get this video up here. It's a big day today. Multiple amount of independent movements and all that stuff was happening today. Oh, look at that. Helium balloons lit it up with the Ukrainian flag. Look at that. It's a bit lopsided, but it's fine. Look at that. Did you hear in the background? Boom. I think, look at that. Look how people got siren all of a sudden. Like, look how they were, yeah. And then, okay. And then got all silent. And like a little shell in the background there. Oh. Look at that. They're happy. Happy Independence Day. Oh, they got another flag. They ain't done yet. Look at that. There's a flag back there. You can clearly see a blue flag back there. This guy's also clearing it back. Flag. They're not done yet. I don't know. You guys saw the French Eiffel Tower there, also being turned to the Ukrainian flag, the Burj Khalifa, multiple amount of monuments. The Ukrainian monument, the one with the lady with the sword and shield. Everything really. So amazing, so amazing. Flag launch there, and it's gonna fly towards the Russian side right there. This guy looks happy. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is amazing. This is what I signed up for," and it really is. Well done, boys. Well done. Welcome back, Ocean. Welcome back. Pro-Russian sources are reporting a significant accumulation of Ukrainian military personnel around Robotyne, monitoring a lot of Russians dooming all of a sudden the Tomok axis. Yeah. Go watch the video from the Eiffel Tower on my channel here. Oh, sorry, my Twitter profile channel, whatever how you say it. Really amazing, really amazing. Happy Independence Day. Really happy Independence Day. There's so much support coming out. We have a NATO tweet here. NATO stands with you today, tomorrow, and as long as it takes. Here it is. NATO. Got Rishi Sunak there. Unprovoked, yes. We watched that video, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm going to retweet it if you do want to watch it. That's what I do. I retweet stuff. Putin made a speech. You can go watch that earlier. I think I retweeted that. I'll just retweet it once more just to be sure. Shelling of a Russian 58th Combined Army Command Post in Tomok, Zaporizhia region 5 hours ago. Ooh, look at that. We got a look at that right there. Would you look at that there for a second? Shelling in the Russian 58th Combined Army. Look at that right there, guys. Boom! Look at that. Army Command Post. Boom. Ukraine is getting a lot more precise with these UAV drones. You know, I mean, much better than what the others are performing. Did you guys see the Fox News? Former. What the fuck just happened there? What the fuck? This guy right here, is he running? Or is he driving? What the fuck happened? I think maybe he heard an explosion or something. It looks like he got run over. He's filming that right there, right? It literally looks like he got run over or something, or he's running. I don't know what the fuck just happened. They probably heard some kind of explosion. You've got to upload the sound. What we got? 5 minutes of the warning soldiers. Oh yeah, we can watch this.
Старшому лейтенанту посмертно. Нагороду отримує дружина Анна Олександрівна.
Анна Олександрівна.
Oh, look at that.
Ну, привіт. Привіт. Сонечко.
He's wearing very nice clothes as well today. Look at that.
Настоящему, реальному герою.
That's for your dad right there.
Україна ніколи не забуде його. Вічна пам'ять, мої співчуття і вдячність за таку людину. Дякуємо вам. Дуже дякую.
Yeah.
Бондаруку Віталію Анатолійовичу, старшому лейтенанту, посмертно.
Major headaches issues. Headset. I thought you said headache. I was like, yeah, all right. S-300 air defense missiles. It's all right, Richie. I'll probably end the stream anyways here in some time. We have gone throughout the day here. James fucking Woods. Oh no. Oh no. Not James Woods. Oh no, his makeup was in the butter dog. The dog with the butter. Butter dog with the butter on him. Here we have it, guys. Other girls. Dyed hairs. Long nails. Makeup. Listens to pop. Butter dog. The butter with the dog. The dog with the butter. Butter dog. Dog with butter on him. Butter dog. Butter doggy. The man, the myth, the legend. The butter dog. Alright, Ocean. See you later. Smell you later, buddy. Smell you later. Sorry. That's a bit too graphic. Italy is set to become the first country
to ban lab-grown meat, and anyone
they don't want lab-grown meat. No fucking shit. I don't want lab meat. I don't want lab-made meat either. It's fucking bullshit. You want lab-made fucking meat? What? A bunch of chemicals you put in a glass, and you tell me, oh yeah, you know, this is chemicals, so we put it in a glass and we put a tomato and we made a fucking meat here, and you could totally eat this stuff. Right. And you're telling me that eating a cow is bad. Would you rather want to stuff yourself with chemically induced and lab-grown meat? Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Oh my god. Really? Wait. Not even trying anymore. The oldest of the oldest of the old is first gen BMP-1 being moved to the front. What's next? PT-76. Is this Russian? BMP-1? It's Soviet amphibious battle infantry tank. Although it's got like a look how rusted it is. Looks like a fucking tiger. It was made in 1964. Good God. Look at that. 1964. This bad boy right here. Well, it doesn't look exactly like that, does it? Looks like it's losing the top. I don't know if this guy's sticking his head out of it. Looks old. Just like the T-34 that was moved to the front line. Did you guys see that they moved the fucking T-34 to the front line? That thing was made in the 1940s. T-34 in the front line. In, you know, the Russian 34. Sorry. You know, the T-34 was made in the 1940s. We know that they've literally pulled them out of machines, re-renovated just a tiny bit, and sent them to the fucking front. It is, I mean, Soviet old fucking shit show. It is so fucking old. Don't get me wrong. In 1940, the T-34M was one of the most mass-produced tanks in the fucking world. 80,000 units was what they talked about being produced. But point out here, guys, just want to point this out to you guys. That was about 80 fucking years ago. 80. Nowadays, right? Nowadays, it would be a piece of scrap on a battlefield it does not belong in. Russia, if Russia is seriously turning its head towards making those systems again, you know, making mechanically made ones instead of microchip ones, this war is going to be over a lot faster than we thought. I will say one thing: if their plan is to produce a lot of it, then count me out, because I'm not going to do that. I would not want to fight in one of those. I mean, the front armor is acceptable to, I mean, the lightest amount of modern equipment, you know? So, well, guys, I am gonna be heading out of here now. Thank you so much for stopping by the show again. If you did not catch up on the news, rewind and go back to the start. Get your news that we talked about pretty much everything today, and you will be restored up. Go check on Flash. You can go check the Ukrainian news story for today. Other than that, you know, we can, if you have anything you want to share to me, at Boring History News on Twitter, link is in the description. I think so. Yeah. Link is in the description. Go talk. Go send me stuff if you have anything. You know, I want to know about it. I want to see it. And we'll stay informed. So, stay, well, one last thing I'm going to say now. Russian sources are reporting the major assault by Ukrainian armed forces equipped with Western weapons, Western equipment is ongoing near the settlement of Roboton of Zaporizhia front line, with at least 80 pieces of armor said to have been committed to the attack. The build-up for this attack near is claimed to have been observed earlier today by a Russian drone equipped with flight camera. Wowzers. We got a video of it too. Get this one last video in here, guys. This is supposedly... I'd be shitting my pants. I mean, listen. You know you got this one coming in, right? Go, look at that. I mean, there's lights in the background there. The amount of equipment that's moving right there. You see those moving right there as well. Holy shit. You know, being a Russian, seeing that moving towards you, you gotta shit your pants. But hopefully we can get the news of that quest throughout the night. Have a good night.